If you're watching this right now, you're already ahead of most people, but not for long, because what's happening in the market right now is quiet. No hype, no headlines screaming opportunity, no viral trends telling you exactly where to look. And that's exactly why it matters, because the biggest money is never made when everyone is paying attention. It's made when things are still quiet, when smart money is already moving, and the crowd hasn't caught up yet. Right now, something very interesting is happening with AI stocks. Not the hype phase you saw before. Not the explosive runs that make everyone rush in. But something much more important. Positioning. And if you understand this phase, you start seeing patterns that most people completely miss. Let me explain. A lot of people think the AI boom already happened. They saw massive runs, big headlines, crazy valuations. And now they assume it's over. That they missed it. But here's the truth most people don't realize. That wasn't the end. That was just the beginning. Because the first wave of AI investing was driven by excitement. People buying into the idea, the possibility, the hype. But what we're seeing now is the second phase. And this phase is driven by something much more powerful than hype. Real money, real demand, real implementation. Companies are no longer just talking about AI, they're building with it, integrating it, spending billions on it. And when companies start spending real money, the market starts reacting in a very different way. Slow at first, quiet, almost invisible. But underneath, massive capital is shifting. This is where smart money operates. They don't wait for confirmation. They don't wait for headlines. They don't wait for everyone to agree. They move early, based on direction. And right now, that direction is becoming clearer. AI is not slowing down. If anything, it's accelerating faster than most people expected. Think about it. Every major company right now is either building AI, integrating AI, or trying to catch up in AI. This isn't optional anymore, it's survival. And when something becomes essential like that, the companies providing the infrastructure, the tools, and the platforms become incredibly valuable. That's where smart money is focusing. Not just on the obvious names everyone talks about, but on the ecosystem behind it. Because AI is not one company, it's an entire system. You have the hardware layer, the companies building the chips, the processing power, the backbone that makes AI possible. Then you have the software layer, the platforms, the tools, the systems that allow businesses to actually use AI. Then you have the application layer, the companies applying AI to real-world use cases, automation, productivity, healthcare, finance, logistics, and money is flowing across all three layers. But here's where things get interesting. It's not flowing evenly, it's rotating. Some areas get attention first, then cool off. Others stay quiet, then suddenly move. And if you're paying attention, you can actually see these rotations happening. But most people don't, because they're focused on headlines, not flow. Let me give you a simple mindset shift that can completely change how you look at this. Instead of asking, which stock is going to explode next? Start asking, where is money quietly moving right now? Because money leaves clues. It doesn't just jump randomly, it moves based on expectations. Expectations about growth, about demand, about future dominance. And right now, expectations around AI are not shrinking. They're expanding. That's why even after big runs, you're still seeing accumulation. Not aggressive buying that creates hype, but steady, consistent positioning. That's a very different signal. Because hype is loud, positioning is quiet, and quiet phases often come before big moves. Now let's talk about something that might feel uncomfortable: uncertainty. Because a lot of people are hesitant right now, markets feel unstable, news feels unpredictable. There's always some reason to wait, but here's the reality. There is always uncertainty. Even during the biggest bull runs in history, there was uncertainty. Even during massive opportunities, people felt unsure. And that's exactly why opportunities exist. If everything felt safe, obvious, and guaranteed, everyone would already be in, and there would be no advantage left. This is why smart money doesn't wait for comfort. They move when things are still unclear, but direction is forming. And that's exactly the phase we're in right now. Direction is forming. Not fully confirmed, not fully obvious, but visible. If you know what to look for. Now, I'm not telling you to blindly jump into anything. That's not how real investing works. This is not about hype. This is about understanding positioning. Because the goal is not to catch the exact bottom. The goal is to be early enough in the trend that the upside still makes sense, and that comes from thinking long-term. Because here's another truth most people ignore. AI is not a short-term story. It's a long-term shift, just like the internet, just like smartphones, just like cloud computing. These weren't one-year trends. They were multi-year transformations. And the biggest winners were not the people who traded in and out. They were the ones who positioned early and stayed. Now think about where we are right now. We're still early in adoption. Yes, you see AI tools everywhere. Yes, you hear about it constantly. But in terms of full integration into industries, we're just getting started. That means the real growth, the real scaling, the real revenue expansion is still ahead. And that's exactly why smart money is moving now. Not because everything is obvious, but because the future direction is becoming hard to ignore. Now let's make this practical for a second. What should you actually take from this?
First, stop chasing noise. If you're only reacting to headlines, you'll always be late. Second, start paying attention to trends, not moments. AI is a trend, a powerful one. And trends don't move in straight lines. They move in phases. Third, understand that patience matters. Because even if you're right about the direction, timing still requires discipline. And finally, take action with awareness, not fear, not hype, but understanding. Because at the end of the day, the biggest difference between people who benefit from these shifts and people who miss them is not intelligence, it's positioning. The ones who win are not the ones who know everything. They're the ones who act early enough and stay long enough. So if you feel like something is happening in the market right now, you're right. It is. The question is not whether AI stocks will continue to matter. The question is whether you'll position yourself while it still feels uncertain, or wait until it feels obvious. Because by the time it feels obvious, the biggest moves are already behind you, and the real opportunity is already gone. So take a step back. Look at the bigger picture. Watch where money is flowing, and ask yourself one simple question. Am I early, or am I waiting to be comfortable? Because in this market, those are two very different outcomes, and only one of them builds real wealth.